Welcome to this great adventure of two sisters.
Absolutely not. Hey guys, welcome to the Regina Kids podcast. I am your host, Maxie.
With her lovely younger sister, Rita the Ham.
And here on the podcast, as you can see, sibling relationships can be loving and sometimes a bit
Dramatic.
affect me, please, complicated. So join us every week as we explore all aspects of having a sibling.
Come be our sibling.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome to another episode of the Regina Kids podcast. If you're new here, my name is Maxie,
My name is Rita.
and here on the Regina Kid podcast, we talk about love, we talk about life, we talk about family, we talk about all kinds of relationships.
And all of our great adventures that we have across America together as this dynamic sister duo.
What?
I just lost my earrings just saying that shit. Oh my
Yeah, because you're just doing a lot. Um, like, follow, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave us a 5-star rating and review. You can always drop us a sieve note at our Gmail at Regina Kids Podcast at gmail.com, or go over to Instagram, slide on into the DMs at
It
underscore
is
Regina
going
Kids
down.
Podcast and leave us a message, a review. Tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like. Leave us a story if you can relate to any of the topics that we talk about here. We're also on YouTube and TikTok. So,
Also, if you have some stories or topics that you would like for us to discuss as a sibling that you have not seen that we've discussed, let us know. Best believe we'll talk about it.
today's topic.
It's
Um,
serious.
Here you go. Rita, she avoids seriousness like the plague.
I do not.
Yeah, right. She get all itchy and scratchy and hives when she had to be
That is not true.
when she have to be serious and mature.
Hold on, let me put on my mature glasses.
Stop it. Anyway,
I'm ready.
so if you if you clicked on this podcast and you seen the title, which is "Please Pray, This Caretaker Life is Hard." So, taking care of anybody
Mm-hmm.
at any stage in their life can be a little rough. When people have first become first time parents, it's a little bit of a struggle. And they say you're a baby twice in life. So, um, the topic is really more geared towards having to take care of your parents that are older. And now that they're older, they're all getting sickly. So,
Yeah.
I thought this was a important topic because I know for me, today is December 28th, 2022.
Mm.
Tomorrow is my dad's birthday.
I'm gonna need you to put a little bit more pep in
What?
that announcement about it being our daddy's birthday.
So tomorrow is our dad's birthday, but tomorrow also is
Yeah.
the 1 year anniversary of one of my best friends of 25 years passing away. If you've been with us for a minute on this podcast journey, we have discussed that I am a author. My first book,
Rich.
all my first book is All My Broken Crayons Still Color. It's a daily affirmation book with a journal in the back. My second book is called Love You More. Grieving isn't easy and healing hurts. It's about the 5 stages of grief and um, the process to start healing from grief. All can be found on Amazon. You could just type my name in there, Maxie Norman, and they should come up.
But if you want a signed copy, you can slide into her DMs at Max
Slide on
Norman on
over there.
Facebook. Is it underscore Eleanor Maxwell?
Yes, it's
And
underscore
underscore Eleanor Maxwell on
on
Instagram.
Instagram. Why did you say it like that on Instagram? Anyway,
You
see
know what I
what I'm saying?
sorry.
When we gotta be serious. Here she go. So
That was only saying the name. Never mind. Let me just go and finish the statement.
anyway, so I wasn't in the works of writing a second book. My second book never happens if my friend never passes away. And he actually passed away on my dad's birthday. So I don't know how tomorrow will go, but we're going to try to sit in today and try to get through this subject without me, Rita trying to get me to cry again on the
I'm trying to get you
podcast.
to cry. How's she
Right. I
trying to
don't even
blame that on me?
understand. Like
Girl,
in the first season,
girl,
she kept
girl.
testing my gangster. I'm just crying and boo-hooing and whatever.
I know she didn't just put that lie on me. I'm trying to get you to cry. No, never. Ain't never trying to get you to cry.
Oh. But if you go back to past episodes, we have an episode called Books, and More Books. I discuss all of my books and what they're about and all of that. But my dad passed almost 7 years ago in April.
Mm-hmm.
So
April 13th.
with my dad passing in that same year in December, my mom got sick.
Yes.
So the thing about with my dad getting sickly and passing away almost 7 years ago, for me, and I'll let Rita speak on how she feels about it. For me, um, it was kind of rough because in my mind, I felt like the job at the time I had didn't have good benefits. And I wasn't, to me, I felt like I should have been in a position to where I should have been able to take a leave of absence and move the 4 hours away where my dad was and take care of him to help him get better. After he passed away, I had so much guilt about that because I felt like I didn't do everything that I needed to do for him. I felt like I didn't give my 100% as his daughter to take care of him because he was sick. Like I would pay for his meds and I would go visit him all the time and take him around and make sure he got done the stuff that he was doing. But when he got sick, when I was really starting to see that he was like, wait a minute, he's really sick. It
Mm-hmm.
was just so much drama between me and my grandmother at the time that it was hard to physically be there all the time and try to take care of him because anything I said to him, she'd turn around and say something else. And he was a mama's boy, so he wasn't going against his mother,
Right.
irregardless if the things that I was telling him was correct.
Not only just that, just let me intersect there. Cause I in that time, one thing that I wanted you to alleviate some of that stress that you was giving yourself to is that our dad when he when his it was like I think it was like over the course of like a year and a half or a year to where it was a slow decline in his health. You know what I mean? And he was so stubborn. He was stubborn as hell to the point to where he was going to honestly do whatever it was that he wanted to do. If he felt that he didn't want to do it, he wasn't going to do it. It didn't matter, honestly, it didn't matter if we was there. He was not going to do it.
And
And
even knowing, even hindsight is 2020, but even with
yeah.
knowing that, I still felt that kind of guilt. So
Mhm.
for him to pass, and then he passed in April, and then come December, if y'all caught our Thanksgiving episode, my mom was actually on there, and
Yeah.
If you listen to our podcast or watch our podcast on YouTube, you'll notice that she did not come on camera, and she explained it was because she ended up getting a lung disease called COPD, which um, causes her to be on permanent oxygen 24/7. So, with that being said, she, in her words, she's very vain.
She
So she didn't feel the need to put her face on display when she was telling her story. So go
right.
back and check that episode out. Y'all really get to know like some of the reasons why we act the way we do, because Regina can be off the chain.
Yeah, she's something else.
But I found that with my mom getting sick, um, I was going through a couple of different stages with this caretaker life. Like it's rough because the first stage I found myself in was I was hyper, I was like really extreme
Yeah,
about like being there all the time. Like to the point where I had to the point where I moved in with her to make sure that she was being taken care of, and that was crazy. But it was to that point where that was one stage. The
yeah,
other stage I found myself in was I was kind of in real time mourning. Like I found myself where it felt like you find out somebody has a terminal disease and is nothing they can do to fix it. So you're just in mourning all the time. Like I was really, really emotional about it all the time. And I was just in mourning. Like
yeah,
I felt like I was losing a lot of people back to back. And it was just like I was just in constant mourning. Like instead of I know now that I'm out of that stage. Now I'm in the stage where is like YOLO. You only live once. So I spend time with her and enjoy spending time with her, and make sure that her life is comfortable, and just live in that moment of
right.
spending time with her versus being in constant mourning. Like every time I see her, I gotta give her long hugs and cry because I make it like that might be the last time I'm gonna see her. Like, and I know like nobody is promised tomorrow.
Exactly.
But being in that caregiver life is so hard because I remember um becoming a CNA when my great grandmother was sick, so that I can assist with helping her. And I found that when I was working in the nursing homes, it was so hard because you get attached to these people, and then you come into work
Hmm.
on you see them when you leave your shift at 11 p.m. at night, because I work second shift. So I see them when I leave at 11 p.m. and then I come in the next day at 3 p.m. and their room is totally cleaned out. Like their parent, like people either came in and took their parents, like, well, they're deteriorating, so we want them to be at home when they pass, not in a nursing
Right.
home. Or you come in and then they're gone. It's like, well, damn. Like it was just rough. But to have to for that person to be your parent, and for that to be the only parent I have left, it feels like I was in a constant state of like mourning. Like I was calling my siblings all the time, like, y'all better get up there and spend time with her because we don't know. It can happen tomorrow. And like that shit was like tearing me up on the inside.
Well,
Like
for the record, you ain't have to call me to tell me go spend time with my mom
Rita,
and spend
see,
time.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying.
You know what? see,
No,
see,
but I do completely understand. I didn't have like with going back to dad, I stayed in anger a long time because I was mad with him because I just felt like he should have did more. He should have fought more to stay around as long as possible.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I don't think I
So
wouldn't you
I was angry. I was angry in that because I knew like because I think the main thing for me was when I remember it like it was yesterday. We got a call. He had to have emergency surgery. Um, Something had happened with his foot. He had to get his foot amputated. They wanted him to do
it
like
was just toe. It was just
his
a toe.
not foot, toe. And they wanted him to do that the antibiotics. And we like, look, Dad, we'll be, you know what I'm saying? You need me to come because at that time you couldn't, but I could. And I was like, I'll come down there and do it for you. And he was like, nah, I ain't nope. I ain't doing that shit. This is that and the third. One of the most embarrassing, I was so embarrassed at the hospital. Um, it was a doctor that came in and they was just telling him like one of the main things that would help because we want to make sure that you don't have no infection nowhere is like for you to just get a couple of days of just dialysis. And he was like, I ain't getting no dialysis. Yo, God ain't my God. I was like, why would you say that to the doctor? Like, why would you say? I was so it takes a lot for me to be embarrassed, but I was honestly embarrassed at him saying that to that doctor. Like, why would you say that to but in that because I just felt like once he didn't do that, those two critical things, the antibiotics and um the dialysis, once he didn't do those two critical things, I think that like I felt cheated of time, additional time, because we was heavy down there spending time with him, and I felt genuinely cheated with time, and I just felt like he should have fought more to be around, to what I'm saying, to spend as much time with us as possible, because
Right.
that was the highlight of like some of the best years that we had with him in that father daughter relationship.
I wasn't angry at him. I was more angry at other people giving him false information. Like I felt like it was other people that was feeding him the opposite of what the doctor said. Like, oh, you don't have to do that. Like you don't have to do that. You could go home and do this, and you go home and do that. It was like a tug of war. But because I couldn't, take 2 or 3 weeks and be there, to me it was like I put that burden on myself. Like
Right,
you didn't do all that you can do. And like now with my mom, it's like I probably overdo it.
right.
Like
But even
like
with the thing with dad, even though you wasn't able to do it, I told him, I told him and those people that I could be there to do it, and he still did not want to do it. He never did the antibiotic stuff at home.
I know he didn't want that port. I understand that. I was just saying, like,
Yeah. So with that, to me, for me, that is just like we are yo. I was angry with him in that aspect because it was just like I felt like at the end of the day, you should have fought harder so we could have whatever additional amount of time that we should have with you. You know what I'm saying? I felt like he was being very selfish. Maybe he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how that's the part that I had to work through in that. Then like to get that double whammy and then mom being sick, I was I was just pissed off. I stayed more in anger, but at the same time, as the anger subsided, I just appreciated more and more the time that I got with her, that that she here that I have with her.
yeah, because I was watching Dion Cole's new stand up. And
Hmm.
at the end of the stand up, he talks about his mom passing away and how he's the only child. And, you know, he made this statement where he was like, once you get into your 50s, he was talking about being in your 50s,
Yeah,
that, your parents are now in their 70s and their 80s. And people are gonna start seeing them pass away. And it was just start it just it
it,
was
it,
kind of
it-
it kind of hit home because I've had friends recently that have lost their mom, or that has lost their dad, or lost a close family member to him. And it's like, dang, like 10 years ago I would have never sat around and thought about that. Like, they getting old, you know what I'm saying? But now that I'm in my 40s, it's like, wait a minute.
yeah,
Like, my mom and them is in their 60s. My aunties and stuff is in their 60s, and everybody got all these ailments. And it's like, there's no way to mentally. I just had this conversation with my cousin. And I was just like, there's no way to mentally prepare for that. Like, you can make sure they have all their insurances and ducks in order and this and that. But it's like, there's no way to mentally prepare yourself. Like, I know my mom is sick, and just like anybody, no, again, nobody is promised tomorrow. But to just constantly be in that hamster wheel with your mind going around and around and around and around, like, oh, I got to make myself be okay, so I'm going to spend more time with her. But then
yeah,
it's like, you see them, some days they don't have good days.
yeah.
You keep seeing them sick. It's like, it's like your heart is just breaking on the inside.
Yeah, and I think for like with mom, it affects me more when because of the type of condition that she has. It affects me more like when she ends up in a hospital because of, what I'm saying, like because with her condition, she can just get a cold for her is like having pneumonia on top of the flu. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Right.
always 10 times worse for her, and it's always going to leave a percentage of damage that she not gonna be able to heal from or get back from type thing. So like when those moments come is the ones where honestly um is the ones where I have to like that's when I get in that okay like I have to be okay, we have to be okay kind of moments. You know what I mean? Like that's when I think I have my day or two of being in hyperdrive and I'm kind of ultra sensitive and things like that. And I be especially like if I'm not already here and I'm in Florida, I'm looking up flights, I'm on my way. Like
You always on your way. You've been here now for so many weeks.
I know they ready for me to go home, but I ain't going
So
home yet, bitch. Not yet. Mm-mm.
so many weeks.
No, because like one thing I made it a point of like even though I am, what I'm saying, a distance away, I make it a point to be present and spend time with my mom like no less than at least 3 times a year. And this year I honestly felt a certain kind of way because I didn't get a chance to have that routine. And it made me feel a certain type of way. So this last trip on my way getting out here, I was home. I was like, look, I'm ready. Mom, I'm on my way. I'm on my way because I haven't spent that. Like sometimes you just want to put your eyes on your parent. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I need to see you in person, touch your face, bother you, kick the shit in person kind of thing. That's what I need. That's what I be needing. But at the same time, I in the back of my mind, I do understand where she's at, and I make it a point to talk to her every day, see her face every day. We laughing, joking, talking shit as if it's nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
I don't want her to feel like it's a present thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you see, because sometimes that can make a person who's going through the situation, feel a certain type of way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
They
like
they know
they
they sick. They don't need that constant reminder. Like, when they're
yeah,
having a good day,
that
let
kind
it be a
of
good
reminder.
day.
Yeah. And then also it just, even in relationships, it's just like when you become a caretaker in a relationship, that is when they say for better, for worse, and all of that. being in that space is really gonna let you know if y'all gonna be able to make it, because a lot of people cannot, they they can't handle it.
Yeah, I remember when I was a CNA many, many moons ago. We had to take like a sensitivity class, and they basically was like, you're it's hard to take care of a relative. And I know, like, in the Black community, we don't really believe in nursing homes. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not letting my mama go to the nursing home. I take care of her. But it takes a lot out of you every day
Yeah.
to take care of somebody who's sickly. It just does. So, siblings, let us know where you guys are at in the caretaker life. Have you experienced it? Are you going through it now? You need some encouragement. Let us know. You could drop us a sib note at our email at reginakidspodcast@gmail.com, or you can slide on into our DMs
Oh
at
yeah.
underscore Regina Kids Podcast on Instagram. You can hit us on Facebook, Regina Kids Podcast, TikTok, and YouTube. Where,
Yeah. And
if you
it's
want to
so,
see our faces and talk about it, drop us a message on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Give us a 5-star rating and a review. Let us know where are y'all at in this caretaker life. Have you never experienced it and you're not, because I know when it's multiple siblings, it always ends up being one or two maybe that'll do it, or maybe sometimes it's just one and they put it all off on the one sibling because everybody else just can't do it, whether it's
yeah.
physically or emotionally or just they just don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and no judgment, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I'm just one of those people that I feel like once you find out somebody, I feel like this even when people aren't sick. Like, spend time and love on the people that you love.
Yeah, and
'Cause
you
we
be
not promised tomorrow. Like,
mm,
go real estate. That's why we love tomorrow, but we
that's
ain't
why I
promised
love tomorrows. Yeah.
that we ain't guaranteed to be here tomorrow. So let the people that you love them and spend
Mm-hmm.
time with them, and just know if something was to happen that you loved on them enough to know that you were loved and that they loved you too.
Yeah.
Not to say that even when you do that, you don't feel some type of way,
Oh,
because
you gonna feel some type of way. And
when
not that caretaker need, sometimes they need a break too. They need support too. They need understanding too, because it's a whole different playing field when you gotta wipe a grown person's ass. Okay, that's next level love. And every person don't have that in them, as far as it being, what I'm saying, being a family member and things like that. And even in relationships, because I understand the being the caretaker side as far as being, a child to a parent. And I understand being, being the actual patient and needing assistance, especially after having eye surgery.
yeah, so
Much respect to my support system. You know what I'm saying? My sister, like, when I had my first surgery, my sister came out and she was there for me. Then my, what I'm saying, my partner, my dude. I,
oh
I
my partner.
my partner, my dude. Um, he did that. He showed up and showed out and did the damn thing and making sure I was, what I'm saying, I was straight during, my eye surgery. And he, like, it was to a point to where, like, I had to let him know, like, it's okay. I could let, what I'm saying, give me a little independence. I got this. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, having that is a blessing. But also, it's conversations in that space that you have to have with your partner to let them know what it is that you need as a patient. And then you have to understand what they need as a caretaker too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a
Yeah,
lot
because that, that
that
that this life ain't for the weak. I can tell you that.
it's
And
that level
as
you got to wipe somebody ass.
and definitely as your parents get older, they get stubborn. They be
Ooh,
prideful.
yeah, yes.
You know, They be wanting to choose to live their life the way they want to live their life.
And you
And
gotta just sit. You know what? You gotta sit back and you just can't do nothing but respect it.
it's hard. It's hard though,
It's very
because the selfish part of us is like, no, I need you to stop doing all of that and do follow these main instructions, because I need you to be I need I need you to drink this youth water so you could be here in the
yeah.
physical as long as possible. Like, the selfish part of you just don't want to get those people up. I
You
promise
know
you.
something that I had seen, and it can go with the parent too, but it when I had seen it, it fell more in the line of having a relationship with a person. It's that Lauren London and Angie Martinez interview. That is deep. That bad boy was deep, and she talked about like the selfish part of us, and loving someone in your ego.
Yeah,
But
because the selfish part of you, whether it's somebody, a family member, a relative, your significant other, whatever, the selfish part of you does not want to let that person go.
at all, at
When
all.
my friend passed away, they say you're not supposed to question God. I had all kinds of questions for God because I just did not
Like
understand.
yo, like you need to come down.
Right.
You need to have a
We need
conversation.
to have a face to face, because I need to understand.
Why?
I, I don't even need to know why. I just need to understand, like, did I do something that I deserve this kind of hurt? Because I don't wish that on nobody. I
Mm-mm.
don't wish nobody to lose somebody that they true, like, that unconditional love for. Like, that is a different kind of hurt. It's a different kind of
Yeah,
pain. It's a different experience.
it is. But at
It's
the
it's
same
a different for me. It's a different type of sickness, because I felt like I was sick, like, physically sick. Like, and then out of all days, it was on my dad's birthday. I was just like, I was
Ooh,
already having a hard time, as I
yeah,
always have a hard time during the Christmas season, because for me, the Christmas, like, I love Christmas, not for the gifts, and I always say that. Like, for me, Christmas is not about that. I enjoy, like, the decorations and the lights, and just people just being festive, and
the
uh,
festivity.
holidays are hard for people, but
Mhm.
for the majority of folks, like, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yeah,
So, and it was also like, being at my dad's birthday was so close to Christmas. It was like, all when we got our relationship back on track, it's just that time of the year where I could spoil him. It just felt good to be
a
able
trip
to.
was being made. You hear me?
It was just that time of the year where, like, I could just spoil him with different stuff, because he like me when it comes to, like, smell good. So it's like, we all in the Macy's and the Neiman's and the everywhere to get the perfect kind of smell good. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the little things like that where it's like, dang, I found myself after he passed, like, around Christmas, I don't even look at perfume no more like that, because it reminded me, like, dang, a bottle for me, a bottle for him. You know what I'm saying? So it
Yeah,
was kind of rough. And then on top of that, like, even with my friend, like, we had decided that we were going to exchange Christmas gifts this year just because of whatever. And the thought of buying him a gift and never being able to give it to him was like the worst thing that could ever happen to me.
yeah,
Cause it's like, what do I do? Just throw it in the garbage? And a couple of his gifts did go in the garbage. I couldn't do it. Like, it was just one of those things. So it's just like, dang. Like, it just be those little small things that get me sometimes. So, yeah, sibling. Um, yeah, we just want to send some love and some light to anybody who's out there that's the caretaker, whether it's your children, a significant other, a parent, hell, yourself. Because, sometimes getting used to me time in and taking care of you
Mhm.
is a hard not life. So, Risa, what is your sib note? What you say?
Self love, self care.
Right, because you was cutting me off in mid sentence once again. What is your sib note?
Giving some background noise. You know what I'm saying? It ain't.
What? Bro, it's a podcast. There's no background noise. Like you're not a background singer, bro. Jeez, what
I'm
is
just
your
giving you some
sib note?
background noise.
What is the sib note?
Listen, one thing you can't get back is time. So, in that, especially with the past few years, everybody had with, lockdown, COVID, there's been a lot of loss that done happened over these past few years. You know, take some time out to reevaluate your life. Make sure that you are genuinely happy and that you loving on your people. Love on your people. Let's everybody just start leading with love. Love on your people. Love on yourself more, and use your time wisely, because it ain't promised.
Wildly. That's what you said. Use your time wildly.
But I wasn't trying to say wildly.
Oh, use your time wildly.
Wisely, wisely, because it is not promised. I mean, if you want to be a little wild in your little time, go ahead, YOLO.
Um, my
And
sib
I love you
note,
guys.
being that we are in the last week of 2022. When the next podcast come out, we will be in January of 2023.
Ooh,
That's that background noise, I guess. um, my sib,
ooh, ooh, people.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
I gotta start whispering with hot interrupts. I be that background noise. Okay, okay. I was like, go ahead.
I don't know what y'all sibling is gonna do in 2023 because something is wrong. But my sib note of the day would be just spread a little love and some sunshine. You never know who you might affect with just a little love and a little sunshine. Um, happy birthday to my daddy tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Daddy! It's your birthday.
Yeah, if y'all follow Rita on the Virginia Kids podcast page, she'll definitely be posting happy birthday to my dad. But you would think it was her birthday because she definitely only posts pictures of him and her together.
Listen, Liddy like Teddy. Lucky I ain't got no strobe lights. Whoop whoop, because he was a party all by himself.
Oh goodness.
2023, I'm been living young and wild and free. I turned 40, girl.
Then that's the young, wild, and free at 40.
40 the new 20.
No,
So
it's not.
30.
No, definitely ain't. I had this lady at my job said once you turn 40, it's all downhill from there.
Nah, fuck that. But
Ah!
let me tell you something. I was literally on because my niece picked me up from the airport. My niece daughter, as we call her, as I call her.
As you call her.
I said as I call her. I said I almost said we, but I said as I call her. And I was just asking her. I'm like, cause my flight travel was gonna be a whole nother episode by itself. Um, but my flight came in really, really late, and I mean, I appreciate her coming to pick me up and then um, bringing me into town or whatever. And I was like, when is you gonna go to sleep? She was like, girl, I'll be running off for 2, 3 hours. You know, she in her 20s. And I was like, yeah, I remember them days.
Yeah, try that now.
Baby girl, wait till you turn 35 and your body just say, fuck you. For me, they say, oh, when you turn 30. No, it wasn't 30. It's when I turned 35. My body said, fuck you.
2, 3 hours turn into 12, 13 hours of sleep you need to function.
Girl, listen. Mm-mm. I need listen, it's a true recovery time. It, I need to recover. You get to that point where you drink a little too much and you feel your kidneys hurting.
Jesus. Any Rita, come on. Let's come back. let's
So
let's come
I'm
back.
young, wild, and free in my mind. But no, I'm living in positivity. I'm living in love. I'm living in light. Um, doing all the things that make me happy with the people that make me happy. That's that's all I'm doing.
Right. So have a safe and wonderful new year. Um
It's
we'll
the
see.
most wonderful time of the year.
Oh, no.
No,
Um you made me forget what I was finna say. Have a safe and wonderful new year. Bring it in with some people that you love. We will see y'all in 2023. And Stormy, you are definitely loved. You are forever missed.
I miss my Leo,
Lord, these
my bro.
Leos. I don't know what happened to 2022 because this year done flew by. I can't believe it's been a year already.
Max
And
the Black Barbara Walters. That was for you, Stormy. That was one of my jokes.
anyway, thank y'all again for joining us on another episode of the
But
Virginia Kids podcast. And,
but
and we're going to continue to glow through whatever it is we're going through. And we just going to glow up in 2023.
oh week. Okay, girl, glow up, show up, and glow up,
Bye,
and we love
Rita.
tomorrows.
What?
Bye, guys.